What's up, ladies? Welcome back to another Tap In with TK. My name is TK. It's a vibe. Can't block my shine. Can't kill my high. And I am super duper honored, humble, excited that you are here with me, baby. If this is your first time here, this channel, well, specifically my segment, Tapping with TK, is all about elevating women, evolving, becoming daughters of God again, renewing our mind, just all the things that we ever thought we could be and more, and actually holding ourselves accountable and working to it. So here we empower one another through truth, transparency, and in love. So if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, a sisterhood, a community, baby, you at the right place at the right time. So I would love for you to join the family by subscribing, hitting that notification bell so you can be notified every single time. Tap In with Tuesday, girl, that's not my name. Tap In with TK drops every Tuesday. You need to know. You need to pull up, okay? And then go ahead while you're at it, like this video, comment, let me know you're here. If this is your first time, if you are a new subscriber, let me know. I would love to talk to you. And then if this is your second or third or fourth, fifth time back, baby, welcome back. Thank you for pulling up again. I greatly appreciate that. I am so honored by what God is doing with the women, through the women, and how he has been blessing y'all through my content. It has been overwhelming. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead and go in the description box to get the links to all my social medias. And my husband is bringing me in some water because I just wanted to get started and not wait. Okay, amen. But follow me everywhere because my content it's consistent, but at the same time, like this morning I went live on Instagram for almost an hour, and women were having breakthrough, people crying. I'm crying. So you just want to get tapped in. You want to get tapped in. Before I get into this video, because I do know that you're here for what I'm here to talk about. So I want to get to the point. I did drop an ebook. Number one, it's free, and I would love for you to download it. But also, the link that you click to get the download, it allows you to be a part of a community. And so when I speak about community, sisterhood, all of these things, when I drop something, just get tapped in, get involved, because that's how you stay involved, and it's just going to get better. So anywho, let's get into it. 10 common habits that hurt your femininity. 10 common habits that hurt your femininity. Y'all know we've been on a feminine conversation. If you follow me on social media, nurturing, loving, gentleness, softness, and not in this external way of looking soft and appearing soft and speaking meekly, but internally working the inside and allowing the Lord to reveal your heart to you. Last week we spoke about the words, because a lot of us women, and thank you to everyone that was like 100 in the comments, we got an issue with this mouth. We be ready to So we talked about that last week, and we're gonna dive into self-control in another video. But today I could not shake the Lord just telling me I need you to not only be transparent, but reveal what is hurting them first before I give you advice on what to do. Because a lot of times we can do things like, I've watched feminine videos and how to be more feminine, and okay, I wear this, I do that, but if I never actually confront what is hurting it and what is fighting up against it, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm not fighting and going back to why I'm not that way, or what is going against my progress, it doesn't matter how many things I implement to become something. You know what I mean? So you got to confront it. And that's all this channel is about, like keeping it 100 with yourself. Okay. So we're going to get into it. Yes, ma'am. 10 common habits that hurt your femininity. Number one, y'all probably already guessed it. Not saying no, not having the ability to know yourself, to know your boundaries, but also not just set your boundaries, but enforce them. That's actually what my free ebook talks about, enforcing the boundaries. Because we can say, oh, I ain't getting up out of this bed at 9 p.m. But you still end up doing it because you haven't enforced them. You haven't placed things that are non-negotiables in your life. And so a lot of times, the reason why this hurts our femininity is we've said yes to so many things. We are trying to be everybody's best friends. We're a mom, we're a wife, we're going to church, we're on a praise team, we're going to soccer practice, we're dropping our kids off over here, we're trying to have sex at night with our men, we're trying to go on the brunches, we're trying to go out of town, we're trying to go to the mama's birthday and the daddy birthday and the nephew, and we just say yes to everything because, one, I think most of us actually sincerely do love the people that we love, but most times we deal with being people pleasers. And the reason why this hurts your femininity is because after, you say yes to everything, you overextend yourself, you go over your capacity, you pour, you don't pour back in. So you're always operating on an empty glass. You begin to get this mindset like, you know what? People have taken advantage of me. Nobody around. I talk to women that are surrounded. Girl got 10, 15 friends. And they'll be like, I just feel like I don't have anyone. I'm like, girl, at every birthday party, you got 30 women. You have 40 people at your birthday. Intimate birthday party is 50 people. I go to your kids' birthday parties and it's like 70 women there. Like, what are you talking about? A lot of times women are saying yes to relationships that are one-sided, right? They knew that it was one-sided going in. We pour into these because we like these people. We love these people. We deal with people pleasing. But what ends up happening is we hit a wall. We hit that place where it's like, you know what? I'm not doing nothing for nobody. And you begin to build up this wall to protect yourself. So now you're not going nowhere. Now you antisocial. You don't meet new friends. You don't trust new friends because everybody hurt you. Everybody broke your heart. Everybody disappointed you. When you was down and out, nobody was there for you. When you was going through your depression and suicidal thoughts, you didn't have any friends around. Well, that was because you were saying yes to, can I say this? To a lot of people you were never supposed to have a relationship with. Let me raise my hand because I'm like, let me not allow y'all to think that I'm judging y'all. Everything on this list hit me first. I cried writing this down. Let me just say that. Getting into Jesus, I knew he was going to do this to me. Y'all, the Lord has been rocking with me close in this last month. Remember I talked about being surrounded. We can be surrounded by a bunch of leeches though. We can be surrounded by a bunch of mentees. We can be surrounded by a bunch of people that got their cups open to you, right? Doesn't make them bad people, but back to my book about boundaries, we didn't set boundaries, right? We usually gain friendships and relationships out of desperation and loneliness. And then when we need wise counsel, we need them to pull up like we pull up. We need them to give us space when we need space. They don't know how to discern and don't have the wisdom because you didn't discern and you didn't have the wisdom choosing them. So again, back to the point, not being able to say no, you get fed up, you get pissed off at everybody that they're not there for you the way that you've been there. So you leave everybody alone. You dip off and you create this wall of protecting yourself. This hurts your femininity. Number 2, being too busy. I feel like this goes in with number 1, doing too much, just doing a lot of stuff, right? But this can also mean, this doesn't even necessarily, well, I guess it will still fall in the category of doing things for people. There is a, wait, I gotta go back, y'all. I'm sorry. I gotta tell y'all this story about not saying no really quick. Just this past week, I did not want to tell this story. I did not want to tell this story. That's why I try to get to number 2, but I'm feeling convicted. So here we go. Just last week, I set a standard for myself. And this season, I am working very, very diligently to do the things that God is calling me to do. And there were some things that I implemented that I would not do, right? I implemented those things. I set those things. A situation ends up happening, asking me to do the very thing that I said I would not do. I was put on the spot and I ended up saying yes. Got in the car with my husband and I was like, babe, I did it again. I was like, baby, how do I say no? Like, and I'm not even a pushover. Like, that's not even my personality. I'm like, oh, I said yes again. And now I have to like kind of move backwards and like let this person know I'm so sorry I said yes, but like do not hit me up about this because I'm actually not gonna do it, you know. And I hate that I did that, but that is also why I had to put number one, because now that I've said yes, right, not being able to say no, now that I've said yes to this again, I let down my boundaries. I didn't stand on them. I didn't enforce them. So now I'm in another commitment that's going to overwhelm me, that's going to drain me. And now I got to move backwards again to go back and disconnect from that commitment. So I just wanted to give y'all this story because it's a real thing. You will unknowingly be operating in your false self that you're trying to get away from simply off of just bad habits. And the Lord told me, I'm gonna keep giving you these opportunities to say no. And they're not fun opportunities. They are people that I know that are asking for stuff from me. And I have to literally like in their face tell them, I'm so sorry, I cannot help you in this season. Do y'all know how hard, I just wanted to go back really quick. Do y'all know how hard it is to look your friend in your eye and say, I cannot be here for you in this season? God is working on me. And do y'all know most times friends don't understand that? What you mean you gonna dip off? What you mean you know what I'm saying? So just know it is a real thing that we gotta get down pat, but it's also a real struggle. And so the next time that you have an opportunity to stick to your boundaries, you don't have to be mean or rude, but do it so it can get easier, okay? Because it ain't easy for me yet. Okay, number 2, being too busy, multitasking, doing too much. I have a non-negotiable about when I take my kids to school. When I take Brooklyn and Eva, those are my baby girls, when I take them to school or when I pick them up, I don't talk on the phone. I don't scroll on social media. There have been times that friends have called me while my kids are in the car, and every time I've been convicted as soon as I get off. That's my time for my babies. And what I realized is when you multitask, when you're just doing so much, you are not present. And being feminine and being gentle and being soft and being a nurturer is someone that's there. They're not like, okay, I'm talking to you, but I need to go get my kid. And then I need to go in the backstage. And then I need to go back to the da-da-da. Like, they're there. Have you ever been across the table of a woman that's scrolling and just frantic and jittery? And you're like, sis, sit still. Sit down. What's going on? But being present. And when you are multitasking, you're cooking and you're doing laundry. Y'all, I did this thing where I said, I love cooking. And most of the times when I'm cooking, though, I am talking to the kids or I'm, helping Brooklyn with her homework or I'm cleaning up at the same time while something is in the oven. I literally challenge myself just to cook. Like turn on my music, be intentional with every teaspoon of I don't know, turmeric and every teaspoon of pepper and every dash of salt and like actually making it look good and presentable. And it is so enjoyable. We make things that we are supposed to enjoy difficult because we're doing everything else too at the same time. And this hurts your femininity because in femininity and in nurturing, think about a nurturing mother. When you speak to a nurturing woman, do you think her brain is scattered and she's everywhere? No, when she's speaking to you, you feel like she's locked in. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of nurturing and pouring, because as you're talking to me, as you are pouring out your issues to me, as you are giving all your worries to me, without saying anything, my energy and my aura is so in tune with you, and I care so much about what you're saying that you're already being fed before I even open my mouth. Before I even give you good advice, because I am present in this moment, you are blessed by my presence. And I don't say that in like but like sincerely, I don't know. Are y'all like me? I have a friend. I have to shout her out really quick. Francesca. She is a phenomenal listener. When I talk to her, I feel like nothing matters. Like she is. And not only does nothing matter, she's sincerely seeking to understand. I can tell her intent is to understand me. Not just what I'm saying, but like, I want to know what you meant when you said that. Like, I'm here locked in with you. That is a feminine thing. It is a feminine thing to be present. So if you are struggling with like, being superwoman is not dope, y'all. No more. No, we take the capes off, and what did I say in my last video? Take the cape off and wrap it around your waist and make it a skirt. We are not super women. We're not super women. We're gonna do one thing at a time, and we're gonna operate in excellence. And I know we do have the skill of multitasking, but if it's driving us to the point where we cannot be present in good moments with our friends, with our kids, with our husbands, he's talking to us, but we worried about the closing the dryer. That's the problem. That's the problem. We can't be present. So, number 3. First and foremost, if this video is good so far, I need y'all to like the video. That's it. Leave a comment and say, I need to know if everybody got to this point, say it's good already. Put that in the comments. It's good already. Number 3, not asking / or receiving help. Speaking of super women, pretending that everything is good and everything is okay. Not asking or receiving help. I got to tell y'all this story. So when Eva was born, I nursed her all the way up until about like 8 months. And Brooklyn was like 1. They're 16 months apart, so they are very close in age. And I remember, baby, the postpartum depression. I remember crying all the time, and simply because I just felt like, how am I going to take care of 2 babies? Like, I remember nursing Eva and like Brooklyn pulling on me to play with her and dance with her, and I just felt so incapable. It just, how am I gonna do this? Like, how do I dance with how is this gonna happen? And I was just so depressed, and I was so stressed out. A young mother. I had my first child when I was 22, immediately right after at 23. I'm just like, what is going on? I'm a newlywed. I'm a new wife. I'm a new mom. I am immediately, as I became a mom, I became a stepmom to 2 other children with 2 different mothers, a new man, the falling out of the church that I was at. Baby, you want to talk about the weight of the world that I felt? And I remember in this season, my mom brought me up to just be really mindful of taking care of my house. And this is about to be a real transparent moment. Hold on, let me drink some water. I remember feeling like I was dying on the inside. Everything that I used to be, everything that I was, everything I knew myself to be. Who am I? In the midst of postpartum depression, the falling out of my church, our pastor removing his hands from us, the whole scandal behind our relationship. If y'all don't know that, go watch our video where we talk about all those things. But in the midst of all of this, when company would come over, instead of me saying help, I need help. Like, somebody take Brooklyn to the park. Somebody clean up for me. What I would drive myself insane and clean the whole house up. Clean, babies crying. I'm talking about stressed. But I also understood the root of this. Instead of the people that I loved and cared for, instead of them coming over and giving help, cleaning up, cooking a meal, dropping off food, they talked about me. They talked about my house. When there was a baby bag on the floor and food on the counter and some crumbs on the stairs, they talked about me. And so I said, I heard it. I said, oh, okay. So now I internalize that as I got to be perfect. Even though I need help, even though I'm struggling, I got to be perfect because they're going to talk about me. And am I a good mom if I can't keep my house together? Am I a good wife if I can't have dinner ready by the time he gets home? And it was a unhealthy thing that I had to unlearn. Don't get me wrong, keeping your house is fine, but if keeping your house together is you're only doing it so you can come off as perfect, that's the problem. So not receiving help or not asking for help and saying, you know what, yes, the house is a mess, but I need help. I need you to help me with this. And if you are around someone that is judging your rough season or your bad season or whatever it is, that's not the people you need around that season anyways. That's not the people you need around anyways. If the only way you're gonna love me and honor me is in if I'm perfect, if you come over and you see my life when my kids come home, they drop the backpacks on the floor, the shoe is over here, the toys are over there, I'm cooking dinner, I got, one lash on, one lash off because I was scratching my, and you talking about me, then you don't need to be around me. But I also understand the root of that. My friend shared a story with me where she said her friend will go crazy and clean her whole house before company came over. And she was like, I just think that's so crazy. Like, who cares? And I'm like, friend, I understand that. When you get talked about for being a human, you stop asking for help. When you get dogged out for having a depressed season or having a stain on your stairs, and they run their mouth, okay, well, I'm perfect. Or at least that's the side that you're gonna get to. That's the access you'll have to me. It's the perfect side, right? But it hurts our femininity, number one, because as women, as wives, and all that we do, we need help. We need help. I remember my friend came over. She was like, can I wash your dishes? Baby, can you? Do you want to vacuum? Like, what else would you like to do? I don't give a darn about none of that. Like, yes, and I'm also, years in being a stay-at-home mom, I've grown more comfortable with the rhythm of my household. But for those of you that are young mothers with judgmental family or friends that come over and kind of frown up at your house, and when things ain't perfect, baby, kick them to the curb. Number 4. No, I'm just playing. Don't kick them to the curb, but properly adjust. Number 4, the thing that hurts your femininity: no quiet time and no prayer. Of course, I feel like almost every woman on my channel is a woman of God and knows that they need to pray. But it also is helpful for our femininity. Knowing who you are, right? When you know who you are, you know who you're not. On this journey, in this last now 4 years of modesty and femininity, and the Lord gave me a word this week, which is daughter. Especially for those of you who have father issues, a daddy that wasn't there, a daddy that spoke bad to you, abused you, touched you, didn't stand up for you, didn't protect you, wasn't around, barely there, emotionally distant, whatever it is. Most of us have daddy issues, most. One thing that I learned about being a daughter of God is that I sincerely have everything that I need. And if I don't physically have it, I have the ability to ask for it. And who am I asking? My Heavenly Father. If you don't have quiet time and prayer with the Lord, communion with the Lord, communication with the Lord, you don't even realize what you need to take off your to-do list, what you need to let go of, commitments you need to end, friendships you need to end. This is the source of all, like the center of everything. The center of everything. Decisions that I made, oh baby, decisions that I made, commitments that I made, that I pulled myself out of, things that I've been doing for all of my life, things that y'all know. Christian hip hop, being a Christian hip hop artist. Am I ready to tell this story? I don't think I am. We'll leave that there. Anywho, things that the Lord pulled me out of, and had I not spent time with him to not only allow him to tell me what to let go of, but why, I wouldn't have. Without my quiet time with God, I wouldn't know why I needed boundaries and what I needed them for and how long I needed those boundaries and when those boundaries needed to be adjusted, because boundaries get adjusted as well. And so it's so pivotal. It's so vital. It's so crucial. It's all of the big words that you can think of. It's important for this walk to have self-control, to know when to listen to everything. And so, sis, if you are trying to be cute, pretty, soft, kind, read all these books, but you do not have a relationship with the Lord, you do not have a relationship that is anchored in him, none of that stuff works. He teaches me how to move in the things that I'm learning. He teaches me when to pick it up. And then not only that, even when it comes to femininity is a trend. And I hopped on a trend because I was like, yeah, I do want to be softer. And yeah, I do want to be kinder. But when I added in prayer and quiet time, I'm like, oh, this is biblical. This is He wants me to be this way so that I can position myself to receive what is mine. I don't have to be masculine and put on a cape and rah rah and bark my way into a room. I'm his daughter. I can be cute with a skirt on and get things done and make things happen because I'm a daughter. I'm tapped in with him. I'm in my prayer. I'm in my prayer bag. You hear me? And so please, ladies, hear me and hear me clearly. If you don't take not one point away from this list, you cannot do this without God. Point blank, period. You need him to heal through the See, I knew I was going to say in this. You need him to heal you through the trauma that has forced you to be masculine. You need him for that. You need him to. There's things that I just learned literally like 3 days ago that have adjusted my life and my perspective of who I was growing up. And I need God to allow me to maneuver through that gracefully. Because if you try to go through trauma on your own, you try to go through trauma and healing by yourself without the healer himself. Try to go through the abandonment issues without the comforter of God. Try to go through those things without the source of everything you need to fill it back up. So when we uproot these things, right? When we're pulling all these things out, daddy issues, mommy issues, molestation, exes, bad relationships, bad friendships, church, when we uproot all that, we need God to pour back into us. Otherwise, we're just left empty and confused. Like, okay, yeah, it's great. You know, you're hurt and that you have trauma. I mean, yeah, that's good that you're facing that. But like, how do we properly heal through that? And we heal through that through God, our relationship with him, a consistent communication with him. Consistent, God, I need you. I need you to help me to talk to my husband right. I need you to help me to treat my friends right. Help me to stop being so daggone moody. Help me to stop popping off with my mouth. Help me in my offense. Help me to stop being so defensive and angry. You need Christ to go through this. It is impossible. Number 5, difficult and combative. Always thinking you're right and your way is better. Difficult and combative. So this is the only, well, it's one of 2 that I am kind of gonna just throw out when it pertains to men, right? But I also don't want us to become feminine and soft for the sake of trying to find a husband, right? Or, I mean, yes, it benefits us as wives, but you just need to be this anyways, right? You just need to be this as a daughter, as a woman, as your individual person. You need to become, how do I say this? You don't need to be difficult and combative, okay? But the reason why I brought up, I didn't want to make this about men, but I'm going to bring it in just really quick. In order to be, in my opinion, I'm going to say my opinion, because in order to be, in my opinion, a submitted wife, a submissive wife, a wife that gives your husband the environment that allows him to lead, that feels comfortable to give suggestions and advice and lead, is with a woman that is cooperative. A woman that is humble enough to trust her husband's leadership, even when he wrong. To give him the space in the room to lead. And when you are always feeling like your idea is better, your way of doing something is better, always cutting him off, combative, going up against him, even if you're right, sis, hear me loud and clear, please. There have been times that Namdi, my husband, has made not great decisions. My way was better. But in my experience, Namdi has grown to be a better leader because I just allowed him to mess up sometimes. You know, just like your kids, they got to touch it. They got to touch the stove. You don't want them to, but sometimes they got to. Now, some people that just learn and like, oh, I see them from afar. Like, yeah, we like those people. Those are wise people. But how many are big idiots in some season where we just got to bump our head wide open, bust it open, then be like, oh, that's why you said don't do that. A lot of times that's us as humans. We have to bump our heads. We have to go down the road that was not right. We have to make the left turn when we're supposed to make right. Make sure, we saw what we saw and to confirm it and all of that. So there's been times in my relationship with my husband where I have been right. What I said was right. It comes back, we should have did that. We, but if I was to combat, thank you, Holy Spirit, he wouldn't trust the voice of God that's in him. Even if God was speaking to him, if I always interrupted him, if I always was combative and uncooperative, it would build up doubt in him. Because I have been right in seasons. I have been correct in seasons. But if I am combative and disruptive and difficult in the times that he is right, especially if your man loves you and he isn't like, I said what I said. No, he has conversations with you. No, it's both of us making this decision, and he trusts your wisdom. He will sometimes put your words and your suggestions above his. And so sometimes, even if you're right, and I know I'm speaking to the wives at this point, even if you're right, just be quiet sometimes. Allow him to exercise his ability to lead. Allow him to exercise his ability to hear from God and then speak it to you. Allow him to have the space of peace and quietness so he can hear God. A lot of times our husbands can't hear God because you so loud. You complaining. You nagging. You know I love you, sis. I got to say that with a smile, but it's the truth. And so this also plays a part in general, though, not even just husband and wife aspect. If you're at work and you're a female, you're a woman, you're watching this, you have a male boss, you can exercise the ability to be cooperative and easygoing with them. When there's been, I just actually got out of a season that I was in a situation where things were just being done wrong. And my friend literally suggested, how about you just like go with the flow? She said it in a way nicer way that I received it, but I translated it like, girl, step back. Like, go with the flow. We know you're a leader. Just go with the flow. And I did. And do y'all know how less stressful I was to not be the leader? It's more stressful to do what they do. I show up, do what I'm supposed to do, and get up out of here. But if you're doing this, if you're a woman and you're always debating, you're always combative, if you exercise this, it not only becomes easier to sit back and go with the flow, but you're also exercising your ability to follow when things aren't even that great. Every season with your man, if you're single, he ain't gonna be leading you perfectly, but you still have to follow that. If that is a man of God and he's hearing from God, you still have to follow. Okay, let me move on. Number 6, don't listen in conversations. You aren't seeking to understand. You're in a conversation with your man, with your friend. Y'all in a, little bit of a debate. And you're not listening. You're just trying to prove a point. You're trying to, thank you, Holy Spirit. He's here. You are trying to let them know that they're wrong in a certain point. And let me just again, this is me. Hear me closely. If you're watching this and you have a problem with your mouth, you have a problem with saying things that are inappropriate, you have a problem with controlling your words, you have a problem with hurting people's feelings, you have a problem with maybe hitting below the belt. I don't know. Maybe you just have an issue with your mouth. Become a better listener. For 2 reasons. Number 1, which is a surface reason, when you choose to actively and intentionally listen to someone, a lot of times the point that you want to prove in the middle of them talking, simply because you made a commitment to yourself that you will not interrupt them and that you will listen, sometimes you just forget your point. And even if you forget, the emotion that was behind the point might have settled, right? It might have settled. Still to this day, when me and my husband are talking, we're in a heated discussion and he says something, the only time I try to interrupt him is when I'm trying to get an understanding of something that he said. So if he's like, yeah, so when I went down the street, the blue car turned left and, he was driving fast. And I'm like, wait, I'm sorry, just really quick. Who is he? Oh, Sam. Oh, okay, Sam, got it. That's it. Just to seek some understanding, not to be like, it wasn't a man in that car. It was a one, not interjecting, not interrupting because I am trying to get a point across, but I'm just simply trying to get further understanding. Being a better listener I don't want to just make these feminine traits, but it does help your femininity, especially if you struggle with self-control. There's been times The second part to this, so for the first part, why you should listen is if you have problems with trying to prove a point, sometimes if you listen long enough, you let people get their point across, the anger that you had behind the emotion of the point that you wanted to prove has settled. So it won't come off as harsh. Number two, this is the beauty of it. When you are in a conversation with someone, this goes back to nurturing, and you are sincerely seeking to understand them. You're seeking to get the fullness of how they think, because sometimes it's not what people are saying, it's how they're saying it. It's their body language. It's what they're saying behind the words. You can't do that if it's every 2 seconds you're interrupting them. You're trying to prove a point. You're cutting them off. You think your point is better. You think you're going to prove them wrong. If you just sit back and just listen, watch their body language. Watch the way they say, my mom. You'll see if there's hurt behind that. My husband. You'll see if it's a lie behind how perfect they making him seem. You'll begin to see a lot more, and then you'll get the fullness of understanding. And to the point that I am making, you allow the Holy Spirit to speak to you. Hear me closely. Being a great listener is a good thing for everyone. Point blank, period. Exercising the ability to listen to people, not only listen, but to seek for understanding in what they're saying, how they're saying it, and what their body language says while they say it. But the most beautiful thing about this is when you listen without interrupting, you allow the Holy Spirit to speak to you. Here I go. And when you do speak, it's wisdom. You allowed your emotion for the point that you wanted to prove to pass by. You didn't interrupt, so you were able to let them fully get their point across while seeking and praying as they're speaking to understand them. And you gave enough time for the Holy Spirit to tell you what to say. There's been times, do you know that people think I'm wise simply because I listen to them? Like, wow, she really just listened. And then when she opened her mouth, it was heavy. It was impactful. Yeah, because I got to allow TK thoughts to go by first. First thoughts might be like, girl, you stupid for being with him still. Yeah, he's still cheat. Like it might be TK thoughts might be a little rough. But if I listen long enough, I allow myself to because I can look at a woman while she's talking to me and I'm like, oh, she's broken. Because I'm giving her time. I'm giving myself time to see her. I'm giving myself time to, when my husband, let me finish that point. I'm giving myself time to see her. So when whatever I speak out of my mouth, it's coming from a place of understanding and love. Same thing for women. Hear me out, wives. Oh, I got to get through this. Oh, I got to get through this. I got to get through this. When you are listening to your husband, you're in a conversation and he is beginning to share his heart with you. No matter how long it takes, let that man finish. I know we are in a hurry to get the point across. We're snappier. We're quicker on our feet. I know, but that is not the point of conversations. Wives, hear me. If you're dating someone, hear me. When your man is speaking to you, the whole time that he is speaking, I need you to set your intentions on truly understanding him, not proving a point. That is not the point of a conversation. That's not the point of communication. We speak to one another to understand one another so we can speak to one another properly. So when my husband comes to me, I'm paying attention to his body language. Oh, he's heavy. So even if he says something in the midst of this conversation that I could prove wrong, my intention is to understand him. And then my attention is to assist in healing, healing, an arrival of a suggestion or advice or whatever it is. It's not about me. It's about like letting that person get their point across. And this can come off not only extremely attractive, but feminine and nurturing. Let him talk. Let him display his heart to you. Give him the time. Even if he says something wrong or it doesn't make sense, just let him finish. I promise when you give yourself time to let him speak, you give yourself time to let all that anger and wanting to prove a point settle down. And while you're letting that settle down, God, what is he showing me? What are you giving to me to give to this man in this moment? What does he need to hear? After he gets through with all of that, he might just need to hear, Well, baby, you know what? I trust your decision. I trust your decision in that area. You have made great decisions before. You have the ability to be a phenomenal leader. And so if you feel like you want to leave your job and you have a plan, I'm here with you. I trust you. So he might have came in with all of these wraparound, some men can go around the block to prove a point. But if you read his body language and you allow the Holy Spirit to reveal and allow you to discern your man, you'll realize he needs to hear that you trust him through this. And you can only do that by being a great listener. Okay. Whoo, let's fly through these. Okay. 7, which I am going to fly through. Sarcasm, being rude. It's not cute. Asking questions. Well, isn't the butter in the refrigerator where it always is? Yeah, she gets out of school at 2:30. All of that, baby, cut it. Practice being gracious. Sarcasm is not dope in men or women, but y'all know I'm talking to y'all. Being rude, being short, just the sarcasm in itself, it is not a beautiful trait. Nobody wants to be around a woman like that. Nobody does. Number 8, gossip, cattiness, lack of classiness, and jealousy. I feel like jealousy and gossip go hand in hand. When you gossip about someone, I feel like the intent that you have behind wanting to make someone look bad only shows that you actually are jealous of a person. This person, why do you care to tear them down? Why do you care to break their image to other people, their perspective to other people? Why do you care to do that? And that's why we have to go back to, what do I feel towards this girl that I got to gossip about her and tear her down? Does she have more money? She got a better looking body in my head. Whatever it is, I'm trying to get to the root of things, y'all. I'm trying to get to the root of it. But it hurts our femininity, because a part of being feminine is being able to be confidential. When a friend shares something with you, having the skill to shut your mouth. Oh, isn't this hard, y'all? When someone comes to you with some tea, and the problem is a lot of times women be around each other that they really don't like, so they seek to get the tea so they can go run their mouth, because, I knew it was something. I knew your marriage wasn't perfect. Girl, Namdi be da-da-da-da-da. Girl, TK be really because you was really jealous before you became my friend, but you just masked yourself to be my friend, to get close, to get the tea. Now so you can go gossip. It's a trait that shows immaturity. It's a trait that no one will trust. And this is coming from someone who comes from a family of gossiping. It is something that the Lord allowed me to feel disgusted about. Still, I'm like literally going through memory lane of like, how do you, anywho. So yeah, it's just not a good trait to talk about your friends. If you do, I dare you to ask yourself, why and what am I jealous of this woman, that I feel the need to go to my other friend and talk about her just to get back around the other woman and be in her face. Don't do that. Give that woman the opportunity to turn you away and be real and let yourself out of that relationship, because it's just not dope. It's not classy. Men don't like it. Men won't trust you. Other women won't trust you. You won't get actual good, high valued women around you, because the moment you start talking about another woman, we know you'll talk about us. Okay. Number 9, anger and easily offended. I'm going to quickly tap on this as well, because I feel like this goes deep into a healing part of our femininity journey. You cannot be feminine, soft, kind, gracious, or any of these things if you are full of hurt. If you have not dealt with your trauma, your abandonment issues, what your ex did to you, your baby daddy abandoning you, your mother issues, that last friend, the church hurt, you cannot be these things without being healed, or healing, excuse me. You can't, without continuously confronting those things, setting your intentions to not let it just go under the rug. Confront it, sis, because every time someone says something or do something, you're going to be easily triggered. You're going to continuously ruin relationships with other women, with men. They'll trigger you and they didn't even mean that. They don't have no idea that your best friend in 12th grade used to call you that. They don't know. And it's not really up to them to like know your whole ins and outs. It's up to you to discover yourself and continue to know yourself, to know what triggers you, to face it, and then properly heal so you can have wisdom enough to know when you enter into new relationships, these people aren't out to hurt you. Everybody's not out there. Everybody's not the same. If you keep having failed relationships with men and women, it's you. It's your fault. And I say that with all love, like face yourself, sis, because being easily offended and angry have you ever met a pretty woman that's just pissed off all the time? Always mad, unsettled? It's because she's full of chaos. And she hasn't settled with herself. She hasn't faced her demons, her storms. Okay. And then the last one, this is the last one, but it's certainly not least. It can seem surface when I say it, but it's not. It's not surface at all. But to number 10, the last one, a habit that will hurt your femininity is not caring about your appearance or centering your appearance around the approval of women or men. Oh Lord, help me explain this to me the way that you did earlier. Not caring, first part, just not caring. Crocs, bonnets, leggings with holes, lint all over you, didn't take a shower, not brushing your just not caring. Just not caring what hurt. You feel how you look. You know when you wear sweatpants and tennis shoes and a t-shirt, you sit a certain way, and then when you wear a skirt, look at me, leg crossed. You know what I'm saying? It plays a role in how you behave. And so not only that, it's pouring back into yourself when you take the time, because this goes into self-care, to put some oil on your body, to spray some perfume, to gel your edges down, whatever it is for you. Okay. If that's putting on clear nail polish, getting your nails done, just care about your appearance. But on top of that, another layer to that is to not center your appearance around men. You don't want to just get cute for men, because if you're in a season where you're depressed and you ain't thinking about dating, are you raggedy again? So set a standard for yourself. I don't care if y'all know I say this all the time. Now I'm be like, oh, you wearing that dress for me? Buddy, I'm wearing this dress for me. Maybe I put on this see-through lingerie literally to look at myself. Literally to see this body, yaddy, okay? To see the thighs. I put on this lingerie with the lace. I did all of this for me. I'm walking around in heels for me. You just happen to benefit. And that's the beauty. Even it plays a part of your self-esteem when you're around women that, have you ever, you might be on either side of this, but you ever been around, you put on your clothes, you're going out to eat with your girlfriend, and you got on your situation, your fit is put together, nails, hair did, and she come in some like, I don't know, leggings and a t-shirt, and she like, dang, I didn't know you was gonna do all of that. Like, that's a problem. You don't want to be that girl. You don't want to feel small in the presence of other women. I'm not telling y'all a certain way to dress. I'm just telling you to care. Care about whatever it is for you. Put effort in it. Set a routine. I won't just sloppily wake up and let the day tell me where I'm going. No, I wake up, I take a shower, I brush my teeth, I do my skin regimen, I put on some nice clean loungewear, and for at least I'm fresh and I'm clean. Take the bonnet off. See, take the bonnet off, sis. Why? That shouldn't even be a discussion, baby. That shouldn't be a discussion, honey dip. Take the bonnet off. And I'm not even going to say anything about these Crocs and leggings and all of that. I'm just saying care. Just care. And if I just don't want you to only get cute because you are looking for a man. I don't want you to get cute because you about to go to a certain place. Like, oh, I'm going to dinner. So no, just when you go to Walmart and you're doing your errands, I dare you for the next month, when you go run your errands, to like put on some decent clothes. Everywhere I go, people are like, where are you going? Target. And I don't even be having on nothing, y'all. I will literally have on leggings with a button up that covers my behind and a blazer as my jacket and some cute little comfortable tennis shoes. Face is just, maybe a little concealer under my eyes and some eyebrows and mascara, a little blush. Where are you going? Girl, this took me 14 seconds. Set whatever it is for you that you can get it done quickly, efficiently, feel good, feel confident, do it. Just care. Just don't not do nothing. Just put some care into it, because you just won't feel soft, gentle, feminine, kind, none of those things if you don't feel externally as well pretty soft and kind. Like I feel cute in this dress. I feel like a lady in this dress. I feel like a lady in heels. So that's what I choose to wear. Most times I'm gonna be in a dress or a skirt. And if I wear jeans, I'm still probably gonna be in some heels. Like, don't get me wrong, I dress comfortable at times, but you're just never gonna catch me downright busted and disgusted. I've set a standard for myself. So I want you to do that for you. That's it, y'all. That's it. This is a longer one. It was a heavier one. I pray that this helped you. It open your eyes, maybe even just confirms what you've already been like, man, I need to work on that. I need to work on that anger. I need to work on my mouth. I need to work on listening. I need to work on caring for my appearance and my hair. I need to work on saying no. Whatever it is for you, I pray that it is a reminder, or maybe the first time being revealed to something you need to work on. Know that you're not alone. I haven't arrived. Everything on that list is still kind of like, like, maybe number 10. I just ain't gonna go nowhere looking crazy. But outside of that, everything else is just a continual journey with the Lord to help me along the way. Help when anger tries to build up. Oh, I gotta confront it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, y'all. I pray that this has not only awakened you, but giving you some type of peace to know that you're also not alone. You're not alone in being hurt and dealing with stuff. But I just don't want to give us an excuse anymore to just stay in it. We want to grow. We want to become all God has called us to be. We're not becoming feminine and soft for men. We're doing it for ourselves. That's it. So if you like this video, I would love for you to hit that like button. Again, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell. Again, I dropped my first ebook. It is free. The link will be in the description. I will so totally appreciate if you guys cop that thing, okay? And also know, by getting the book, you are also connected to my community. So you'll know what's going on. You'll know when I'm doing the next ladies event. You'll know when I'm doing an in-person event. Okay? Because she's coming. It's happening. It's happening. I love y'all so much. I sincerely do. And I just want us to be all God has called us to be confident and secure and anchored in Him, so that we can fully live exceedingly and abundantly above all we have asked or think. We want to thrive in this season. So I will see y'all in the next video. Thank y'all for tapping in with TK.